Hey y'all, it's Wild Riley again. How y'all doing? Just wanted to do a quick video on propagation. So, pruning all these little whips, all these trimmings off of the trees. So this whole table is all pomegranate. Two types. We got the wonderful and then another newer hybrid that's real tasty as well, right there. And then all these are plums and oranges. And we're getting some new growth. So this is the time to do it. When you have that new growth, the signals go into the plant that it's time to put on new foliage, which means as it grows on the top, it's going to grow underneath the soil. It's going to grow roots. So for as much growth as you get on top, you get about the same amount of growth in the soil. So you can see some of these are starting to sprout their buds. Some of these older ones, these short stick ones that I did, they're starting to pop new leaves. So lots of members of the Prunus family, plums. And then this one's half plums, half pears. Rooting all these guys. And for the most part, what I see is people are rooting root stocks that are small sticks, like maybe a foot long. But I've been pretty successful at rooting these tall whips that go, these canes that go, 4, 5 feet tall, 3 feet tall, different ones like that. And there you go. Then you have like a taller tree from the get-go. See, these oranges are still kind of perky, their leaves. That's a good thing, because once they run out of water, if they suck an air bubble or they're struggling, then they'll wilt over. So, what I'm using is this cloning powder. Take root. And I'll put a little bit of aloe vera sometimes on the end of the stick. Sometimes I'll take the edge of my pocket knife and kind of scrape at the skin of the stick before I plant it with the root hormone on it. And that way it'll kind of be more inclined to sprout roots. And then once these start growing, they're putting on new growth. I'll probably leave them through most of the summer, maybe into the fall, and then separate these ones out that are clustered and plant them again in the new pots. I'll probably have to order more pots. Yeah, these are gonna go all over the property. They're gonna be given to my neighbors. So my neighbors are gonna have plums and apples, cherries, peaches, oranges, all kinds of fruit, pomegranate. So, in my opinion, if you have a bunch of empty pots, why not have them working for you? Get a little bit of potting soil, time it so that you've planted out last year's crop and made your pots available. So now that it's going into spring, you got to prune your trees. You might as well take those trees and make more life out of them instead of just wasting them. So that's where I'm at. This is my little barbecue patio. So it's kind of where I've been hanging out. They take a little bit of water every day. Up here, we got dappled sunshine coming through, so it's enough to give the the root stocks some energy to grow their new roots, but it's not enough to desiccate them, to heat up the wood to the point where it sucks an air bubble into the stem and then the plant ends up dying. So you want to gradually kind of give them time to root, which is why it's kind of important to do it at this time of year. Like these oranges here, I defoliated them, pulled all these leaves off, and just left these new growth leaves, the crowns on. So, yeah, I might not have all my terminology right, but It doesn't matter. What matters is being successful at it and then educating myself along the way. So I hope this inspires you. Pomegranates attract hummingbirds, which is my favorite bird. So I like planting out pomegranates everywhere. In fact, go check it out. So we got some black walnuts. They're starting to wake up. And here in the backyard, we have to protect the black walnuts from the animals. Pretty much all the trees, unless they're real bitter, like elderberry. Have some elderberry. My dog runs through the cactus and knocks it all over, so I have to keep replanting it over and over again. I'm going to do it again today. Got some little pine trees growing here. So what that's for is, this is kind of to the west of the barn, so these junipers and pine trees are going to shade the barn in the hot summer sun. Give the chickens a little bit of a break from the heat. Interspersed, we got lavender and elderberry and whatever can grow. Sometimes rosemary. There's an elderberry. And then Costco had these killer deals, so I put a couple of these in. Tropic Beauty peach, so some peaches and plums. I mean, the trees were really affordable, so I kind of just bit the bullet on it and bought a few of them to get growing. I put horse manure and chicken manure around the base. Pomegranates interspersed in between. So the stone fruit's going to grow tall, and these are going to bush out and create kind of like a grove type effect. So yeah, I got little pomegranates growing in here. These are all clones, by the way, except for the ones with the tags over there. I bought those because sometimes it's a matter of time. You want to get a year ahead, then you just can purchase a few of them. But that one, that one, they're all over the place. I like cloning them. Florida Grande. So a couple different types of peaches. They're like friends. Eucalyptus blooms off season, so it's really good for the bees. And this eucalyptus I pulled up when it was just a little guy. And now it's probably, 10, 15 feet tall. And so I'm going to limb it up, get it probably like 20 feet, and then top it and make it branch out. And it'll create a little bit of shade in this area, but it'll still let sun through to get to the stone fruit and pomegranates. So it'll kind of bush out and kind of shade this area. We're converting this cabin into like a trapper's cabin, or like a hunting cabin. So can store like whatever kind of things in it. Right now I got my dirt bike, some kerosene, some old wine, and some lanterns, barbecue, stuff like that. But we had to re-roof it, repaint it, kind of give it a little bit of love. And last year during the lockdowns, we revamped the barn because we had time, and we found some good deals on lumber and stuff. Had to kind of drive a ways to get it. We decided to invest a little bit in the infrastructure before we knew what was really going to happen with society. So did that. Got our chickens. They're incubating eggs right now, so it's good. Jade plant's kind of struggling because I thought we'd have gotten a little more rain this year, but it's been kind of a bum year. The grapes are about to wake up on the fence and start growing again. Maybe we'll get a crop this year. Added in a second row of pomegranates. So I've probably done previous videos about this stuff here, but we're gonna take and multi-graft these apples. We kind of make little Franken trees. Probably gonna order some scions from Skull Cult if he has them up for sale, and if I can get a couple of them, try some of his favorites. Otherwise, I have plenty of apples here to practice with. Got lemons and oranges growing. And now it's getting to be a challenge just to find places to plant these things where they'll have room to grow. We got the peach. Another lemon over there. We got like a little nectarine. So we've planted out lots of extra stuff throughout this little food forest, and things are starting to grow really well. I guess the days are getting longer, so it's getting a little bit chaotic in here. So I just let the horses out and they'll come graze everything back into into an amount of foliage that makes sense. Because it's getting kind of grassy. And the horses kind of favor the grass anyway, so sometimes they'll go ahead and eat the tops off of my sunflowers and stuff, and that's pretty annoying. But for the most part, they're going after this thick grass. It's like candy for them. Oh, they'll eat corn if I have I've planted a bunch of maize in here and stuff, so they might go for that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Start planting things out. Remember, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, but the second best time is today. So right now there's a lot of bare root trees, and the ones you do have to prune, may as well root them and keep the process going. Take care, everyone.